Ooh, might put my coat on. All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, it's still beautiful, but it's not really beautiful. As you can see, it's raining today or this afternoon on the mighty Chesil Beach, but I don't care because it makes a change. It's still 20 odd degrees and it's really nice, to be fair. I'm soaked through, but I've walked quite a long way, as you know, I normally do, and it's nice. All right, so today's session is going to be a little bit different. What I'm going to do over the last few weeks, I've caught quite a lot of fish, as you've seen, or you might have seen. And if you haven't watched my videos, why not? If you watched them at the start of the year and you haven't watched them now, you're absolutely crazy. All right, but yeah, I've caught a few fish, but yes, it's been on fresh bait. So I've had quite a lot of questions about, is it worth going with frozen baits? Is it this, is it that? So I like to interact with you quite a lot. I haven't so much of late because I've caught more fish and I've just tried to get the fishing on the camera. In this video, I'm going to be using frozen baits and frozen baits only. Frozen squid, frozen blacks, and frozen hermits, all right? I am also going to try and catch a few fresh mackerel, and that is always an option. Do not come down here just with a couple set of feathers and hope to catch your bait, right? Because I've been there, and I know a lot of you probably have, where you're down here feathering after work going, oh my God, I only want like half a dozen mackerel, and it's getting darker and darker and darker. And yeah, I've been that person where I've had to get in the car with no bait, all right? So don't rely on the mackerel turning up. But as you've seen recently, there's been quite a few about, but who knows? My name's Wayne. This is a not so sunny, but still beautiful Chesil Beach. Thanks again for watching my channel. This is Fishing Chesil Beach with frozen baits and frozen baits only. So as you've seen, I'm using a multiplier setup on the right hand rod. I'm going to aim to put that a little bit further with clip down rigs, hopefully get into some tide. You never know, I might pick up a cod, or if I'm lucky, a trigger or a nice bream. And on this one, I've got a earth rig, you know all about that by now, surely. Try and catch it. All right, 6/8 loomy to a party squid with a popper, party squid with a popper, and a frozen black. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to be chucking it in a little bit closer, drifting it around. Hopefully, yet again, if I'm very lucky, I'll pick up a trigger. If not, should get into some bream, some gurnard, and you never know. As I mentioned in the intro, it's going to be a bit of a species comp today on frozen baits, so let's get it out there. The sun's shining now, it's drying me straight out, so we've got a chance. So we're back now to the beautiful Chesil Beach here in Dorset. The tide's ripping from left to right, so I'm just going to put this over here. As I mentioned before, it's a free down rig, so I'm not worried about distance. Just a simple 50, 60 yards to do for now. Let's see what's in there. I've got plenty of different rigs, plenty of frozen bait, and we're giving it a go. Had a few rattles on this earlier. Could have picked up a gurnard or something. Nothing too big. The spiders are back there. I'm getting stripped every 10 minutes. It's really hard work. That's why I've not been filming. I've only been fishing just over an hour, but it's an absolute pain in the ass. I can't believe it. I thought we were rid of them. Just stripping me straight away. But that's fishing. It's all a challenge, isn't it? Oh well, nothing on there. Bit of weed. If I was, it'd come off in the surf. But not to worry. Just been slacklined. I'll tighten it up for you so you can see the action. But yeah, I can't even keep a bait in the water now. It was dead, and now It's dead. No, it's gone crazy. I don't know why. Not much tide, it's just pretty, what it is. Come in. Whatever it is, it's going mad. Not too big, but it's just a nice little bream. Well, there you go. There you go, look, in the sunshine. The sun's shining and the bream are feeding on a bit of frozen squid. Thank you, Mr. Bream. I'm going to put this one back because yet again I'm out coaching again tomorrow. So yeah, let's get them back. That was a hell of a bite. I'm so busy baiting up at the moment, I might have to just drop to single. I'm missing them every time. Might have to just drop to single hooks. It's baiting at 3 hooks a time, it's just taking ages and I'm just missing the bites. Stuck in the bottom now. Oh yeah. Just winding this one in. Loads of bites. Ah, got a fish. Ah, little bream too. That's what's stripping me out. These little monkeys. Can't really moan though, it's the future. But I'll keep the baits going in and I'll bring you back if they get a bit bigger. Mackerel going mad everywhere at the moment. I had a few bites and then slack lined. Something's hammered me off down tide. Oh, this feels a nice fish. That's a proper fish, this one. Oh. Could be one of those summer codling, you know. Well, and a few whacks and slack line. Definitely a fish there. Frozen blacks, tipped with squid. Doesn't feel that. Felt a decent fish at the start. Might come off. That might not be what I thought. Come off. I don't know. Oh no, it's still there. Oh, that's a nice bream. Oh yes. That is a beauty. Look at the side of that one. As you can probably hear, it's alive with fish here. The mackerel going crazy, the birds are going crazy, my other rod is hooped in the rest, and I've caught this beautiful bream. That's definitely the biggest one I've had this year. Look at the size of it. Big fat head, beautiful, nailed. A 3-0 and a 4-0 circle. That wasn't meant for you, mate. But anyway, that's a bream. I'm gonna get it in the bucket. It's starting to come alive. It's Chesil Beach, just the way we like it. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty hard. The fish are there. There's lots of fish, but I think they're tiny bream. I stick out a double squid, it's gone within 2 minutes. It's madness. I thought it was spider crabs, but I think it's little bream, because I caught about 3 or 4 of them. I've had like a couple hooked inside, and I've hooked some in the mouth on the smaller rig. But yeah, it's what it is. As I've mentioned before, I come out once a week to show you how it's fishing for me, and as a rough estimate. Obviously there's people catching more fish than me and there's people catching less, but you know, still come out. As we mentioned over and over, it's just about being out here. But I can't do anything about this tonight. It's fine, I keep going. I've never worked so hard. This is the hardest I reckon I've ever worked on video, to try and get you some fish. We caught some fish, it's not a problem. But I know there's better fish out there. But it doesn't matter. We've got cheeseburgers. We've got the sunset. Got the birds working everywhere. Great shoals of mackerel coming through. So it's definitely positive. It's about 9:15 now, so I'll fish for, you know me, I'll fish till about 10. Get a few hours sleep, get up, fish first light, and hopefully the little bream have cleared off and we can get into some more fish. But do you know what? It doesn't really matter. I've had some fish. It's a beautiful evening. And what's it cost me? It cost me about 15 quid in freezer bait. So, not too bad, eh? Oh, I got a bite on the right hand rodlet. Beauty. Right on cue. It's definitely not one of these little bream. Unless he's on steroids. As before, I didn't fish at night. I just couldn't be bothered. There's so many small fish about in the day. Well, God only knows what it would have been like at night. I'd probably been recasting every 30 seconds. But yeah, it's a new day. Hopefully the small bream have cleared off. But all I can do is fish through it. I'll probably fish till about 10 o'clock like before, and then go off coaching. But I'll give it my best. I've got quite a lot of bait, which I definitely am needing. Obviously, the feature's frozen baits, and I've caught some fish. I've had 3 nice bream, obviously 1 really nice. I just got a slack line. Just tighten this one off a minute. This one's just come back, but it could be the tide because I'm still using rolling leads. I've had indications on both, so pretty much the same as yesterday. I think it's just small fish messing around. But yesterday I was using rolling leads. So in a minute I might switch to grip leads. Something different, hopefully that might help. But yeah, it's what it is. Like I say, it's fished all right. Can't moan, it's just been a lot of effort. Anyway, I'm gonna change the hooks on all my rigs. Fresh start, fresh snoods, fresh hooks, fresh bait, and hopefully I can get into a few fish for you. Thanks everyone. So when it's hard like it is at the moment, all I've got to do is just keep doing this. That's a squid and a single black, nothing fancy, naturally all frozen, or was, it's starting to fall out now, that's fine. And just put all this elastic around it, I wind it in after 5 minutes. There's not a single bit of bait on there, it's just a ball of elastic. It's crazy. I think it's small bream. That's all right. I've got about 20 more squid and 3 wraps of black. And I'm just gonna keep going until they run out. And that's what we've got to do when it's fishing like this. There's something obviously nailing it. I think it's small bream. It's just, it turns into a job and not fishing, which is not great. So yeah, through the saddle, up for the head. This is a spare one, obviously. Just keep doing this till you run out of bait. That's the key. It's not enjoyable. You don't even get to watch your rods, because I've got to just, once this is made, bring the right hand rod in, switch it, and that's. But fishing like this, I've had it before. You know, fish through all this, and then you get into a nice fish. There you go. Beautiful, eh? Just right for the crabs and the small bream. Anyway, I'll change this one over again. That's 74 casts this morning. No. You know what it's like, just have a little whinge. Double squid. Just see if I can keep a bait in the water long enough to catch a fish. Big old bait that was. I felt that when I was casting. There you go, that's been out there 4 minutes. That's what's coming in like. 4 minutes. My hands are hanging off. Anyway, I'll just keep going, because that next cast could be a worldie. If only. Thanks everyone. Morning. Well, it's just coming up to 6 o'clock, or just after 6. And that's it, I've got a knock on the head. I just can't fish through this. Last night and today, it's relentless. I just timed it, it was 2 minutes, 13 seconds, double squid, double black, buoy in, stripped. Sometimes in life, I know I always say it's not about the catching, but you've got to be in with a chance. I've got lots of things on, so I'm going to get myself off home. So it's quite a short video, but that's fishing on Chesil. Obviously the last few, you've seen me catch quite a lot of fish, and that's fine. But this one, you haven't, you've just seen me catch 3. But that's life on Chesil, and that's fishing weekly. Thanks again for joining me. Thanks again for watching my channel. Thanks again for everyone that's subscribed. I appreciate it. We're just short of 4,000 now. It's really good going. Seems we've been going for 11 months. So thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.